But the point is,
Anyway.
there's something you talk about in the parenting course about specific words that need to be used and how you have to switch those words around. I'm trying to remember what it was. I don't know. Maybe you remember because of the context.
Thank you for saving me. I really
Yeah.
appreciate it. Because when Jeremy said inner talk, I was like, oh gosh, don't ask me that. I'm the worst. I'm the worst at inner talk. I beat myself up so much. I am the worst at psyching myself up.
Well, do you listen? Are you listening to yourself now?
I really have to go to a parenting course.
There you go. Self-parenting.
I have to say that actually, this is actually credit to my wife. She's the one who's always beating the positive talk into me, even right before this interview. But so I don't want to talk about myself because that's definitely an area that I need to work on. But to what Baruch said, when it comes to when you're talking to yourself, that you know what? Maybe this is the answer. Maybe could it be? We are our own worst critic.
Right.
We criticize ourselves more than anyone else can. I've actually heard there's a guy named he wrote the book Bullies to Buddies. Kalman?
Yes. Izzy Kalman.
Izzy Kalman. I knew there was okay. Izzy Kalman. I've heard him speak once, and he said, the worst things I've ever said, I said to my spouse. And the truth is, it makes sense because with your wife, there are the least amount of barriers. It's your most secure relationship. You could vent and say horrible things, and they're the least likely to walk off on you if you do that.
Yeah.
I think that to ourselves we're even worse. Wow. So could it be? And by the way, this is something I would love to talk about the words. And Baruch, I don't know if you ever met Andrea Russo, but she's coming to our school tomorrow. She's the person who taught me so much, especially a lot of. Sorry,
she was from Sparks.
Hidden Sparks, yes.
Andrea Russo from Hidden Sparks because tomorrow. Aaron was he was coaching me through her.
Yes, so she is I'm going to meet with her tomorrow, but she taught me these words, which are so simple and everyone could say it, but the power of could it be? But we'll talk about that later. Could it be that the most effective way to overcome negative self-talk and transition into positive self-talk is to talk to somebody else about it? So let me take a step back. In my parenting course, I primarily follow the methods of how to talk to kids who listen. Adele Faber and Elaine Maislish. But I also bring in a lot of components from different parenting courses. What the main idea that I took from Love and Logic, or at least one of the main ideas, it's another parenting course, is the idea of confer with others. Anytime you need to make a big decision about parenting, and I think this is about life, talk to somebody else. And I explain, when I talk to the parents, I explain this, that it doesn't have to be a professional. You could talk to anybody. You could talk to even someone who's a bad parent and ask them for advice. And here's the cool thing. If they give you a bad piece of advice, then you know what not to do. And you can also tell yourself, okay, I need to move away from that. If they're saying this, I got to go that way.
Nice.
If they give you good advice, then you know what to do. And if they give you advice that's not helpful, then even by you presenting it, by you explaining the situation, it deepens the thoughts in your own mind.
That's true.
That's also in Hasidic philosophy. We have this idea of words bringing down revelation. By verbalizing something, we're able to really bring it down. But the whole idea of verbalizing something is the idea of there's somebody else and I'm talking to them. So as somebody who's horrible in the department of self-talk. And as Baruch, now I'm going to get to what Baruch said in the parenting course. When we talk about praise, it talks about specifically how to talk, which words to use and which words not to use. Why? Because this is a great phrase. It's not about what the parent says to the child. It's about what the child says to themselves. You always need to ask yourself, what can I do to enable my child to say to themselves X, Y, and Z? And that also applies in regulation and co-regulation. But here's the idea, and this is I thought about it when you mentioned it. Could it be that the most effective way to have positive self-talk is to find somebody to process the situation, and through that to put both feet on the ground and to get a very clear understanding? I have a colleague, Chesky Ackerman, Baruch, you know him.
Yep.
He's, he and I, we do this. We bounce off our both ideas, academic ideas and institutional ideas, but also our personal issues. We bounce off these ideas, and very often we don't even need the other person's ideas to help us figure out what to do. Just by talking to each other, it's like self-talk. Exactly. So maybe that is my response to you. The best self-talk can be done is very effective when you find somebody to hear what you're saying and to respond to it.